Hey, hello everybody. Carmina Mevs here. So happy we made it to Tuesday. And I have some good tidbits for you today. Today I want to talk about, and it's a little weird, isn't it? Like, why would you be afraid to lose weight? Um, so hang on in there 1 second. I want to share it with our friends at Walk It Off and make sure that they can join the party. I haven't done this in a while, and I just realized the other day that I had stopped sharing it with them, and that's not cool. That's not nice. So hang on with me. I hope you're doing well. I have to tell you, I'm super proud of myself. This week, I've been really good with my routine, and so far it's working out. And as you can see, I'm getting here on time and not rushed, which makes such a difference in the rest of my day. I have to tell you, it makes such a difference. All right, so almost there. I don't know why it takes me so long to figure this out every time I do it. All right. So, hope you guys are doing well. As you're coming in, I would love it if you would send me a little note, say hello, so that I know you're here and you and I can interact a little bit. As I was saying today, I want to talk to you about fear. And it's a weird topic when you're thinking about weight loss, right? It's like, why would you be afraid to lose weight? That doesn't kind of make sense, Carmina. Like, right? Get it together. I get you, but hear me out for a second. The reason I bring this up is because, you know, lately and, in the past, yesterday really, I really became cognizant, right, of the temptation to take shortcuts, right? I mean, if you think about it, I'm doing this very publicly, right? And so I have a super incentive to do it quick, right? To lose the weight quickly. It is so tempting, right? It's so tempting to revert back to the habits that I know will get quick results, but ultimately I know I'm going to pay the price down the road. So it's so tempting to go down this road, right? And part of the reason that, you know, the fear comes in and is one is a very public challenge. So if you are going through something similar, you may not have made it public. If you didn't, I would encourage you to find a way to do so, because that gives you the extra incentive, the extra motivation to keep yourself in the game. It's you know it's it takes your game to the next level, right? And then also there is the fear that, hey, I've done this before. I'm going to be disappointed again, right? Disappointed not so much in the fact that it won't work, right? Because I mean, if there's so many ways out there to lose weight. Now more than ever, there's a book that comes out every month that, that tops the bestseller. There are studies to back up stuff. So, yeah, losing weight in itself is not the challenge, right? It is, but it's not the whole story. What is disappointing for most of us is the fact that it comes back, right? And and so in that sense, we might get stuck, right, in the afraidness of trying it out. And fear can keep us stuck in inactivity. It can keep us stuck in a place that we really don't want to be in, but the thought of, going in that journey is too painful. It's um, it's not attractive enough to get us out of where we are at. And I remember, way back when I was a young girl, I was 18, and when most girls my age were thinking about where they're going to go to college, what they're going to do, which country they were going to, because, in Haiti, it's kind of a rite of passage, at least it was, to go to a different country for your university studies, right? When most people were thinking about, they had that decision to make, I made a decision that was very controversial. Um, I was met with a lot of opposition um, inside my family, particularly my dad. He would not hear any of it, and it was a really tough decision. But that decision, which I'll tell you in a bit, it wasn't the decision to start on the journey wasn't that hard, at least not for me. It was hard because there was a lot of external things that were getting in the way. But what made it hard, what was harder for me, was the decision to start on a different journey once I was on it, right? And the reason I tell you that story is because oftentimes we are in denial of what our situation is, right? We are in denial, and so we stay stuck where we are. And for me, I have to tell you, this was the hardest by far. My divorce didn't come close to going through that experience. Other stuff, other situation, other tough situation I've been in my life since have not compared. Very, very, very pale in comparison to the situation I was in, where fear kept me stuck in the place where I was at. Even though I knew that this was not where I wanted to be, this not where I should be, but it kept me stuck here. And I feel that when it comes to any decision in our lives, whether it's weight loss, whether it's financial matters, whether it's relationship matters, fear keeps us prisoner of where we are because we are so afraid of what we're going to find on the other side. And this is why I'm telling you today not to be afraid to lose weight, because it may not be obvious, but in losing the weight, you are going to have to become somebody else, right? Especially if you're doing it the right way. If you're taking the shortcuts of popping pills and, not eating, starving yourself, you know, yeah, you will not have learned anything other than, beauty is pain. That's all you would have learned if you go that route. But if you choose to go the route that I'm inviting you to go on with me, right, which is a route of building healthy habits, of being okay with it taking time, right? It's being okay with losing the weight slowly. If you're okay with that, then in that journey, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and you're going to become somebody else, right? Because, you know, just like today we're confronting the idea of fear, in confronting that idea, there are stuff that are gonna come up. Just like for me, that particular time of my life is coming up. And so if you're chomping at the bits, when I was 18, I had this idea that I wanted to save the world, right? And when everybody else was thinking about what college they're going to go to, what field they're going to major in, I made a decision at 18 years old that I was going to enter the convent, right? And at the time, I'm sure so now it was super controversial. I mean, like, who does that, right? Very rarely these days do you hear people entering the convent, right? And that was a decision that I made. And believe it or not, it was an easy decision for me because I love doing social work. I pretty much grew up surrounded by nuns. So I went to Catholic school my entire life. So this world was not strange to me, right? It was actually very comforting. So I've made a decision. I went in, and I can tell you, the minute it was official, the minute I stepped foot inside the convent, I knew I had made the wrong decision. I knew it. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, I knew right then and there it was the wrong decision. However, I had come, um, what's the word? I had to oppose so many forces, right, to get that moment to happen, that backing out, one, my pride would not let me do that. And two, I was so afraid. Now it feels an unreasonable fear, but at the time, it was such a real fear. I was so afraid of the impact of that decision, what it would mean, right? What it would mean in the future. And because of that fear, I just got stuck there for a year and a half. I think I was in there. So I never actually became a nun because, it takes 3 years to actually become a nun. But, I lived in a convent for a year and a half. And during that year, I had built a mental prison for myself that I could not get out of. I just couldn't. I couldn't see past what would happen after because all I could foresee was doom and gloom, right? Because inside felt safe, even though I knew in my soul and in my bones that this was not the right decision, but I still got stuck there. I got stuck in that place. And I can tell you from experience, the worst prison that you will ever experience is the prison that's in here. Because you're the only one who has the key and you don't know you have the key. And so you feel that, there is no way out, but there is a way out and you hold the key. But it takes, it took a lot of time, a lot of prayerful meditation, a lot of help from other people, right, to help me see the way, to help me find my way out, right? And I tell you this in relationship to weight loss because for me, the rest of my life was decided by that experience. I can tell you for a fact, I would not be the person that I am today. And not that I'm saying that I'm extraordinary or anything, but the decisions I've made, right? The person that I became to that experience, I would never have become it had I not made a decision, one, to enter the convent, and two, to actually leave, right? That has shaped the way I think. It has shaped decisions I've made and how I make decisions, following that, because in that journey, I learned so much about who I was, what I was capable of, and what I was willing to tolerate and not tolerate. So, my word of encouragement to you today is wherever you find yourself at, know that there is no right or wrong path, okay? There's just different decisions. Different decisions will take you in a different route. So don't be afraid of doing it. Don't be afraid of taking the first step. And when the going gets hard, keep going, because if the journey is worth it, it's going to be hard. Doesn't have to be painful, but it's going to take effort. So that's my word for today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you here tomorrow, same time, same place. Take care. Bye for now.